All right, now we're about to do Opsec. Here we go. These are the overview, references, Opsec process and definition, critical information, operational aspects and operations, personnel information, Opsec indicators, threats, vulnerabilities, risk, countermeasures, command and Navy Opsec support team contact information. These are the references, the RSPM 28, the DODI 8170.01, SecNav instruction 5720.44, SecNav instruction 3070.2, N2TP3 TAC 3.3, and the Navy social media handbook. Opsec. Opsec is a process designated to identify, protect, and control unclassified critical information and indicators from adversaries' exploitation. Threats, whom to protect your critical information from. Who are or how are they collecting? Determine where our information is most vulnerable to adversaries' exploitation. Opsec countermeasures, protect critical information. Opsec's like ORM. We go from a process of identify critical information, analyze threats, analyze vulnerabilities, assess threats, and apply countermeasures, just as you see in that circle there. Operational aspects of operations. Any piece of information commands operational aspects of military operations. Presence, capability, strength, intent, readiness, timing, location, and method. Presence, where your unit is currently located. Capability, the unit ability of your unit to operate. Strength, the number of units, personnel with the ability to withstand great force. Intent, what your unit is planning to do. Readiness, level of preparedness to execute. Timing, aspects of timing in an event. Location, where your unit will deploy, specific locations, method, the way your mission will be executed. Critical information. The unclassified information we must protect to ensure success and is the same information the adversary needs to prevent your success. Critical information will derive from our operational aspects. Not all the operational aspects of military operations will apply to each and every organization. The command's critical information list must be discussed during the onboarding process. So when you go to a squadron or ship, they should be going over all the critical information list. We have one here too. Come see me if you so wish to want to go through it. Personal information, by comparison, not considered critical information, may lead to your association and possibly related to operational aspects. Some examples of unclassified information associated with you and your family that you may consider protecting includes name, photos, details of your children, username, passwords of all accounts, social security number, always, credit card, banking information, significant data, birth dates, anniversaries, addresses, phone numbers, everyday schedules, travel itineraries, when you're away from home. So personal information, when on the World Wide Web, could indicate your military affiliation. Indicators, friendly detectable actions that reveal critical information and vulnerabilities. Longer work hours, rehearsals, sudden changes in procedures, onloads, large crew troop movements, emblems and logos, routine or predictable patterns. Not all indicators can be completely protected, and not all indicators are necessarily bad. We may want to protect our critical information. Threats. Intentions and capabilities of an adversary to undertake any actions detrimental to the success of friendly activities and or operations. Coverted threats, military opponents. For instance, we're kind of dealing with Russia issues. Those are our military opponents. Unconventional threats, terrorists, hackers, scammers, insiders, foreign intelligence services. Vulnerabilities. Weakness an adversary will exploit to acquire critical information. Some of the most common vulnerabilities include lack of awareness. I do not know is not an excuse. Apathy, social media posts, use of apps, social engineering, data aggregation from multitude of sources, meaning all those we just discussed and combined. Technology advances daily. Trash, people do actually go through trash. There are people hired to go through trash. When they do Opsec inspections, you know what they do? They go through our trash. Anyways, poor policy enforcement. We have policies here too. Unsecure communications, predictable actions and patterns. The above list is not inclusive, so anything like phone calls. I mean, how many people get phone calls every day asking for information, family information? Every day, almost for me. Risk. The probability an adversary will gain knowledge of your critical information and the impact if they are successful. Impact. What will cost you if your critical information is lost? Lives, missions, money, and time. How can you willingly risk by displaying an indicator or not correcting a vulnerability? Countermeasures. Anything that effectively negates or reduces the adversary's ability to exploit vulnerabilities or collect and process critical information. So hide, control indicators, vary routes, modify everyday schedules. The influence it has manipulating an adversary is they might not take an action. They'll react too late or take the wrong action. So show up the wrong time. I can say that ASF and most MA's standing watches do rams all the time. Those things mitigate indicators all the time, or moving the brow from forward to aft to the ship. Any questions? Opsec.